Fire crews are keeping busy as dozens of wildfires have burned across Maine already this week. According to the Maine Forest Service, there have been 54 wildfires in the state over the past 3 days alone. They've resulted in burns to a little under 40 acres. Officials say that's pretty typical for this time of year. It's no surprise we're in the middle of Maine's annual Wildfire Awareness Week, which comes as spring weather conditions often give way to increased fire danger.
With the warming temperatures, more sun exposure to the ground, and often we have windy conditions, that very quickly can dry out a lot of that dead vegetation. So we call that fine fuels, dead grass, pine needles, leaf litter from last fall is all getting exposed. And, folks might recognize feeling that crunchiness as they dry out. And that makes that really accessible to fire when there's an ignition source nearby.
Terry Teller says the most important thing Mainers can do is be aware of the daily fire danger. The Maine Forest Service provides an update by no later than 9 each morning on mainfireweather.org. Usually burn permits are only issued on days with low or moderate danger. Once you secure a burn permit, Teller says to clean the area around the debris pile you're going to burn. Keep water and other fire mitigation tools nearby, and always keep an eye on the fire.